You know, they say in a company, it starts from the leader. And so it's a testament to you. Really exciting what you and your team put together for last night because it was Milan Fashion Week. I need to share this with my clients and whoever else because we really can make these little differences that we're not aware of.
I'm really glad that you have this feeling and that's spread the word.
Could you just explain a little bit about how fashion really is harmful to the environment for those of us that are just learning about this? And how many brands do you have currently? Do you think it'll be more difficult to be certified in the future, or it will be an easier process? Hi, I'm Catherine Story. Welcome to my channel, House of Story. Today, I'm really excited to be speaking with Paolo Bray, who is the founder and director out of the World Sustainable Organization here in Milan. Yeah, hello. Hi.
Very nice meeting you.
Nice to be talking with you and finding out more about your amazing organization. And so you founded this company, it's a non-organization in what year?
Well, it's over 10 years, and we created also a foundation to manage the conservation projects, the grassroots activity, let's say. And yes, it's more than 10 years, and the project has grown over the years. We have started focusing on certification of sustainable products and services with our labels, our logos, Friend of the Sea and Friend of the Earth. Initially, the focus was on certification of food products, so products are sustainable fisheries, sustainable agriculture. And then we realized that these logos could motivate companies to produce in a better way, respecting the environment and the workers, also in other sectors. And they could award other products and services that are produced in a sustainable way. So we developed standards for sustainable textiles and fashion.
Mm-hmm. And so when did that start? When did you bring fashion into the Friend?
Well, it's just a little bit more than a year ago, a year and a half. And the project has gained an incredible momentum, and there's more and more companies that are interested to enter the project. Why? Because we propose not only the verification, the audit, in order to potentially certify at least part of the garments and the clothes that the brand produces if they comply with our sustainability requirements. But also we understand that then we have to promote these products, let consumers know that these brands exist and what they are doing, their engagement toward the environment. And we do this through a number of activities which create network and thus stimulate the whole sector to look for third-party certified sustainable textiles and fashion brands.
So could you just explain a little bit about how fashion really is harmful to the environment for those of us that are just learning about this?
Well, first of all, we should not demonize fashion because it has an impact. Obviously, our priority as a human species is to feed ourselves. So the food industry has quite a big impact on the environment, and also to wear clothes. That's what all of us have to do. And so consequently, the industry is very big. And it has had over the years quite an impact on the environment in different forms. You know, there are natural fibers which are produced from agriculture and farming. And we know that agriculture and farming, production of cotton or wool, have a certain potential impact on the environment if they're not carried out in a sustainable way. Artificial fibers, which have grown a lot over the past decades, have also their own potential impacts, in particular at the end of the life cycle of the product, when being it not biodegradable, it might impact the environment, and also during the washing, the generation of microplastic and so on can be harmful. So the objective, again, is not to point the finger to one specific fiber, but to motivate everybody to reduce their impact. So, for example, one simpler way to reduce the impact is to recycle or upcycle.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are other ways, of course. You can look for organic cotton or wool or natural fibers which are produced in a way that is sustainable for the environment.
So it's to look at the labels that you're purchasing and maybe looking at the brands. And like you said, it's not going to happen right away. And it's just to do a little bit what we can.
Definitely, it's a gradual process, but we see that smaller, bigger brands are all, have all made quite a U-turn and understood that it's their responsibility to reduce their impact on the environment, and this is happening. The new brands in particular, which normally are startups, immediately want to start with the right food and produce in a way that is not harmful for the environment. That's why also this good trend of upcycling and so on is very encouraging. I'm positive that we gradually get to reduce the impact on the environment, and the success of the events that we carry out and the project itself show that really there is a willingness on behalf of all the brands to go in this direction.
And how many brands do you have currently?
Working, we have approximately 40 brands from 4 different continents, let's say, almost all areas of the world. And so that's also a very good sign, because each area, both the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere, both, let's say, the wealthier, richer countries, as well as those that are emerging, have a growing awareness on this subject. Yes.
And it's really exciting what you and your team put together for last night, because it was Milan Fashion Week. And this was your third, was it your third?
Yes, we've done 3 or 4 events. We started off by supporting other events which had already been planned. And then we did a showroom, which was also very successful. Over the months, we have been mentioned on all the major medias like Vogue, Elle, Mary Claire, Cosmopolitan, even the Bible of fashion, women's wear daily.
Really?
And with also the brand that participated to the events. So there's a growing interest also from the medias. And this time, yes, really, we really felt to be part of the Milan Fashion Week, because there were a lot of people at the event. It was, I believe, very professionally showcased, and there were also several showrooms and media. So this really makes us hope that we can, by means of this event, also support brands like yours to grow in the market in the area.
Mm-hmm. So for the future, what do you see? Because I heard yesterday at the conference, the 2030, is that the Europe is wanting by 2030 exactly what?
Well, as far as we are concerned, the plan is to grow rapidly. In terms, for example, of trade shows we will attend together with the brands. This is very important because it helps network. So we're going to intensify our presence. Before, we have been doing one every year. We're going to do 2, maybe 3 in different countries. As far as the catwalk, I don't think we will be able to do it by February, but definitely we will do an even bigger event next September, and then more frequently, and hopefully also in other fashion weeks around the globe. So, we're open also to consider the suggestions by the brand on where you think would be the best country to, expand. And last but not least, we are here today in our Sustainable Friends concept store that we opened in Milan, in the highest footfall street in Italy, the 4th in Europe. And this is a premiere, is still quite kind of a secret, but the plan is that by June next year, when our formula for the store, for the concept store, will be perfectioned, we are planning to open a store also in London, possibly in the highest footfall area in London, because we think it's a very important place in particular for the Anglo-Saxon market, so including US and Australia and so on.
So do you think it'll be more difficult to be certified in the future, or it will be an easier process? Or what are your feelings about that?
Well, I believe that the standards that we developed are already quite strict. We want to be supportive of upcycling in particular, and also recycling initiatives. That's what we've always done also in the food arena, where there's reuse of trimmings and bycuts from the food processing, which can be used for other wood productions. And so at the same time, we want the standards to be accessible and to potentially to all different fibers with strict requirements. However, in terms of a level of how much they are recycled, and also the processing activity. And as far as natural fibers are concerned, we have to look into the impact in terms of agriculture and farming, because that's very important.
So it all leads back to it kind of does lead back to farming and agriculture and food.
Yes, well, if you are upcycling, if you are recycling, then we want to look into that part, because we want to motivate this trend. We want to boost this trend, because we think that's really making, and that's proved also by all studies which have been carried out, that normally this leads, if you are also doing a clean processing phase, you're not doing, let's say, toxic dyes or things like that, or glues, etc. But generally speaking, this has a lower impact on the environment, because you're actually preventing waste, which would otherwise be generated, and cutting on the energy, water, transportation, and the raw material impacts that you would have if you were sourcing anew from harvesting or agriculture and so on. So let's say that's somehow the easiest if you are applying for our certification. Otherwise, you're still you can still access the project, but we will have to look into the origin of the raw material, be it natural or synthetic.
Yeah, it was quite a complex application, and auditing through the auditing process was very amazing, right? Like, I didn't even know what you were talking about, like a lot of the questions were, and luckily you have people to help with that.
And I think it helps also the brands to understand what we mean by impact, and then gradually also further improve, identify the weak points, and then trying to further improve if there is space for improvement.
Yeah, it's brought so much awareness, meeting not just your organization, but also just all the people involved that I've had to deal with have been I just have to say, it's just like a lot of love, like everyone's really, the girls all seem to just really love each other. It's like a beautiful family. And then just to have the other part where I'm thinking in my mind, like, wow, I need to share this with my clients and whoever else, because we really can make these little differences that we're not aware of. And so
I'm really glad you feel like that. Yes, definitely for us, the atmosphere in the company and between the people who work in the company is very important. And yes, I'm really glad that you have this feeling, and that's spread the word.
Well, they say in a company it starts from the leader, and so it's a testament to you.
I'm very passionate about it, and we didn't mention that we dedicate last year about 30% of our budget to conservation projects and campaigns. That's why we also created the foundation. So really, yes, we do ask for royalties for the use of the logo, because that's our project survives, and this helps also to create awareness and so on. But a consumer or a public that or customer that purchases a product, a garment that is Freindmof the Earth certified, will then know that it's produced respecting the environment and the workers, and at the same time the the buyer, the person that buys the product, will know that this way he or she is helping conservation project, human awareness projects. I think that's really important.
Well, you definitely, your passion is, see your passion. Were you always like that? Were you happy? How did you find this? Or this is just who you?
Well, when I finished university, I went to economics university. I thought, the media were shouting more and more about environmental issues, the Amazon, the greenhouse, and so on and so on. And so I thought, I want to do something which is not just helping me in the daily life economically, but also that when I go back home, I feel like, I need my small contribution to the environment. And by means of the Friend of the Earth, WSO, I think also the producers, the brands, the companies that work with us can feel the same, because then you are also a friend of the earth. And if somebody will buy your gardens, then he or she will be a friend of the earth. So I'm really a big fan.
I love that. That's so great. Well, thank you so much. And thanks for the work that you and your team do. And I'm excited to stay involved, keep being involved with a friend of the earth. I think it's wonderful.
So wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Ciao.
Ciao.